Next color. Hey, isn't that wonderful? This is not done yet, but I had to stop here to talk to you all. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another embroidery machine find. Guys, I'm telling you, this is the time to buy machines if you're looking to buy an embroidery or sewing machine and you're new to sewing. It's a buyer's market out there. And what I mean by that is, for 30 some years, sewing machine companies have been producing these sewing and embroidery combo computer machines, and every 2 to 4 years they always came out with the next upgrade, the next new sewing machine. 30 some years later, you've got an abundance of these used machines everywhere, okay? And grandma hardly uses these machines. Well, some grandmas do, but you've got people who own these machines and they hardly use them. And on these machines, they got a stitch count you can check inside to tell you what the stitch count is. And the best machine to buy, check the stitch count, and if there's 3 empty zeros, grab it. It's a good buy. Now, people who are trying to sell these machines are finding out they can't get top dollar because there's too much competition. There's too many of these machines on the market now after 30 years. And these are great machines, especially for a newbie or someone who wants to add an embroidery machine and they're not sure if they're going to really want to stick with it, but they want to try it. So they buy these like entry-level machines. Now, this machine I found online, and I saw the pictures and I said, I kind of like this. Now, this is the second machine I just recently bought within three weeks. And I'm starting all my sewing semesters up, teaching classes again. So I need to get some extra machines for students to use in class. All right, so now, this is the brother Designio DZ820e. Now, this is in the same frame category as the brother PE770. And also, this technology had USB stick and a card, okay? Now, your older machines do not have the USB stick. They just have a card. So you have to get a transfer box to be able to transfer designs to the machine. This machine I looked up online, it's 10 years old, okay? I got this for almost, let's just say if you take a family out for dinner at a steakhouse, that's the cost of this machine used right now, okay? Seriously. It is, the price was just mind-blowing, okay? Because they're not moving because they got them priced too high and they're reducing them really, really low. So you can get these machines really good. And this is a great time for you newbies right now, like I said, to buy an embroidery machine, a used embroidery machine, so you can start learning. All right. Now, this machine, let me tell you a little bit about this machine. It's an embroidery only. Okay. This is a peacock design that I'm embroidering. I know you're all going to ask me, where did I get this design? Well, let me explain. I have a hard drive with over 20, God, how long have I been embroidering? Been embroidering since the late 90s. And then I got online in the early 2000s and started buying designs online in the 2000s. So I have a hard drive full of embroidery designs, and I don't list them by brand. I list them by category, what they are. So like I remember when I wanted this one, I would have gone to Google. Now, a lot of you think Google is a generic name, and you will use other software search engines, but don't use Google, because every time I say I find things on Google and you guys write me and say I can't find it on Google, do you have a link? And I ask them, are you using Google? Yeah. Well, they're not using Google, because I saw a couple in person. They're using Bing and some other things. So I would go to Google and I enter Peacock Embroidery Design, PES. Now, PES is the language that Brother and Baby Lock machines read. And then when after I enter that in Google, it comes up and shows me a link to all these different embroidery sites, and it even has photos. And when I see a photo of what I like, I'll click on it. It takes me to that embroidery site, and there it is. I buy it. So that's how you find designs online. Okay. Now, this is not one of the top of the line machines. This is in the lower midline machines. Okay. This is just one step above beginner, entry level. Now, what I mean by that, the machines that everyone's buying at Walmart that are embroidery or embroidery combo sewing that have only a 4x4 size hoop. Okay, this has a 5x7 hoop, and it will take a 4x4 and one smaller, so you can do a little embroidery on socks. So this would be the next step up, and 5x7 hoop is a great hoop for, and it's a common hoop. It's a hoop that most people use, even the people who have those mega buck embroidery machines with the big, huge hoops that they keep coming out with. Most people always go back to a 5x7 hoop. Why do they go back to a 5x7 hoop? Because the 5x7 hoop is the standard size when you're doing kitchen towels, when you're doing a monogram on your bath towels. This is the great size to use. All right, so this machine just has basic information here, okay? And that's all you need for a beginner. But this is in pristine condition. Now let me point a couple things out also here. You see what I'm using here for my metallic thread? This is a thread adapter. This thread adapter was designed and manufactured for this style of Brother machine. If you notice this style of Brother machine, it's on an angle. You see, it's on an angle this way. This is an adapter that would have came with your sewing and embroidery machine. Because this was used, it did not come with one, but I had an extra one that I bought from my brother dealer many, many years ago. So I use it for this. Now, why do you have to use metallic thread? You have to on this way. Well, you use it this way, or you could buy a device like this that sits on your bobbin winder, so the thread feeds from the side. Now, in every one of my videos, I explain this, and for you who followed me, this is old news to you, and you already have success. For the newbies, the thread has to be fed from the side, whether it's in a horizontal position or whether it's in a vertical position. It has to be fed from the side. Why is that? So it doesn't kink or break. And so it has fluidity. So it has no obstruction. And then I just put a piece of felt or cotton batting here just to back it up, because you want to make sure there's not a lot of play here. You still want to make sure it's loose enough to move, but you don't want a lot of play here, so the thread, in case it does a hiccup, it won't catch around there and wrap around the spindle and break. All right, and I have a spool cap at the front there too. So that's a great tip for you all. Now, as you saw earlier, embroidery needle, I always use a top stitch size 14 needle. Janome says their red tip needle has a bigger eye, and it's designed for dense embroidery designs and for metallic threads. So I've been using them lately, and I've been having success with them. So for all you Janome owners, whenever you say, you tell people, oh, I'm using a red tip needle, but you don't know what the type of needle it is, this is basically an advanced universal embroidery needle. Okay, it's a combo embroidery and universal sewing needle with a wider eye. And that's what the red tip needle is. Because Janome, as you see, they don't explain what their needles are. And for a newbie, they won't understand. So there it is. Red tip size 14 needles, what I've got in here. And you see the success I'm having with this. Isn't this beautiful? So if you're, and then, oh, these lights. These are those industrial lights that I buy. I've talked about this many times in my past videos, and I'll go through it again one more time. They get attached to your sewing machine. I buy a washer, a metal washer, and I use double-sided automotive tape. Now, a lot of you may try to use that double-sided tape that's like a cushion. You know, that doesn't work. You have to have a really good tape. And this is the automotive tape. It's 3M by 3M. I get it at the auto parts store. And if you have several machines, buy a roll of that tape and buy this and get these lights and you're going to love them. And then I used 3M clips. These are light clips. And you can see it keeps the wire out of the way. Goes down. See, and I have another light down here. And I have that light coming up. You can see. I have a clip there to hold. And it comes here to give me light on the throat, in the throat of the machine. Now, the cool thing about this machine, though, is it did not have an old-fashioned yellow light. Let me shut my extra lights off. It has a LED light. So this technology, they're putting LED lights in, the white color LED lights. Isn't that great? But I still always like more light. So if you see, I'll turn this on. I get more light there. I turn on over here, and I get more light there. You see that? I like doing that. So why do you want an embroidery machine? My gosh, here's the reason. You can increase the value of your objects at home. You can decorate yourself. You can do everything. Embroidery is expensive if you try to farm it out. It's not cheap. It's not cheap to have someone else do the embroidery for you. So having an embroidery machine, wow. And it's a creative hobby. My God, trust me. Trust me, for all of you that are recovering alcoholics or recovering drug addicts, this is the therapy you need. This is the kind of therapy you need to occupy your mind and put your mind at rest. And you know, how many of you grew up with a fish tank? Remember sitting in front of the fish tank and watching the fish swim and how relaxing that was and the therapy? It's the same thing with embroidery. Because your work is really, all you do is you got to know how to hoop the fabric properly. And once you hoop the fabric properly and you load your design, all you do is change the thread. And when it tells you to, you change the thread. That's it. That's it. How much more easy can that be? And a lot of you are writing on these groups, these sewing groups, that you're getting birds nesting underneath and everything. Well, you didn't read your instruction manual on how to thread your machine properly. Okay? 99.9% of all mistakes with the sewing machines or embroidery machines are operator error. There was a lady on a sewing group that wrote the group and said, "Hey, I'm getting ready to sell my machine. Could you tell me a list of the accessories that came with my machine so I know what to put in it?" And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, wait a minute, why doesn't she just open up her instruction manual? Because the instruction manual shows you the accessories that came with the machine. But she was expecting everyone else to write all the accessories in a comment of what came with the machine. Really, people? Come on. Come on. Put a little, hustle. Think and hustle your booties and shake a leg, or as my grandma used to say, put some elbow grease into it. Don't expect everyone else to do everything for you. All right? So I don't know why people have a fear of their instruction manuals. I see so much of that on the groups. People are afraid to open up their instruction manuals. We talked about this before. If you want success, you have to earn it. If you want success, you have to learn how to have success. And you have instruction manuals, you have videos like this, you have tips that I help you with to give you the success. You just have to put the time in to learn. Okay? And this is a great time for all the newbies to get affordable machines. Yes. My student, I already told, one of my students doesn't have an embroidery machine, and she needs to take a machine home for homework. So she's going to borrow this machine to do her homework, and she's going to just have a ball. She's going to want one right away. I know she will. So anyway, I wanted to share this video with you guys and share the success of what I have, because every brand machine, going back to metallic thread, I can't tell you how many times these people write on the groups, "Oh, my machine doesn't like metallic thread. My machine doesn't like that brand." And I'm like, no, your machine loves it. You just don't know how to do it. You don't know how to set it up. Watch my videos for success, and everyone who's watched my videos will know every different brand machine I have used, I have success with metallic threads. Even the Singer XL550, the Futura models everyone's having problems with. Success with that as well, because it's all in the setup. It's all in the setup. Keep your eyes open. Watch for those grannies that are getting rid of their machines. Look at your local Facebook marketplace. Look online at sales sites. Walk into your sewing machine dealer. Join a club, sewing clubs, and you'll find ladies there that are going to be selling them. And remember, it is a buyer's market right now. right, so I know some of you are going to say, do you have a link for these lights? So I want to tell you, go to Google and enter 30 LED industrial sewing machine lights. And they will come up and you choose a vendor of your choice. Yeah, I don't have affiliate links. I don't get paid to advertise. Everything I do here is of my own. So when I tell you how I find my embroidery designs, when I find my notions and accessories, I'm giving you keywords to enter in Google to find this information so you have success. So I'm going to repeat this one more time for those that are new that haven't watched my channel before. Enter 30 LED industrial sewing machine lights. And then when it comes up, it'll show you where they're at, and you choose a vendor of your choice and you order them. And like I said, you get a metal washer. You can pick a metal washer up from Home Depot. You attach it with a double-sided tape, and then this just sticks right on, and then you have your clips to hold your wire. All right? All right, let's get back. Now, this particular model machine takes size 15J embroidery bobbins. You could buy these in bulk anywhere that they sell embroidery sewing supplies. The older version of Brother machines took a class 16 bobbin. Now, do not, if you have an older version of an embroidery or sewing machine by Brother, like the PC 6500, like I showed you earlier, or the 8400D, like I showed you in one of my short videos, which it's coming up. I'm doing a video on that one later, and I'll walk you through that one. Those take class 66 bobbins by Brother. Now, don't get those confused with the Singer plastic 66 bobbins, because the Singer plastic 66 bobbins have a rounded top and a rounded bottom, and that's not going to work well for your machine. It has to be a class 66 that's flat. This is a class 15 that's flat for this particular model machine. Okay, so these are things that you need to know when you use machines, because I see a lot of people also online that really have not studied this, and they'll get a new machine. They'll try putting an old-fashioned Singer bobbin in one of these machines, and then they write online, oh my God, my needle broke, my this and that, my thread's all jammed, blah, 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 blah. And that's because you weren't educated on that. You have to know all this stuff. So take your time, everybody. Okay, so here's another reason why these machines you can get at really good prices is because the technology is a little older, and these line of machines do not cut jump threads. What are jump threads? Well, you can see me cutting these right now. It's when it's sewing one color and it goes to another area, it drags the thread and you end up with spider webs. So as you're embroidering and you're babysitting the machine, you just cut these jump threads off. But you know what? That's just a little inconvenience to get a really, really good price now on a machine like this. And the new machines, the new modern machines, they will cut the jump threads for you so it doesn't drag and cause all these spider webs. So keep that in mind. But this is something we did years ago when we didn't have the technology of jump thread cutting. So we're used to this. You know, us old timers are kind of used to this. But I'll tell you what, look at the quality of the stitching of this machine. It's just phenomenal. Just phenomenal. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? Man, this is beautiful. Let me pop it out and show you here. Wow, this is so pretty. Look at that, guys. Look at that detail. Isn't that gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous. Let me get a little better light here. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. You can't beat that. You can make a pillow out of this. This could be for all kinds of home decor. And put it on your shirt, your jacket, whatever. There's so much you can do. And it's just wonderful. It's a great time to get into sewing, everybody, as I discussed earlier. It's a great time to start learning. Watch as many YouTube videos as you can. Read your manuals, everything. Because it's a craft that's a wonderful craft to learn and do. Okay? Yeah, beautiful. All right, take care, everybody. Talk to you soon. And don't forget, always Google search. Keep researching, everybody. Just keep researching. If you keep researching, you will find success with your machine. You will find success finding your machine. You just have to be diligent and keep researching and keep watching the market. And remember, there's a ton of these machines out there. I find them all the time. I find them all the time. So I have success. You can have success. I have success with metallic thread. You can have success with metallic thread. You know, it's all up to you. It's all up to you. How much elbow grease you put into everything you do. All right, take care. Oh, and like the brother came out with another new line of machines. See, every 2 to 4 years they come out with new machines. And the newest machine looks like a coffee maker. And it's aimed towards the younger generations. It looks like a high-end Barista Keurig coffee maker. That's really cool. And it only does one little size. I think it's like a 4x4. But they're aiming that towards the young generations. And I don't know what the price point of that is, but it's brand new. And you set it up and you edit and everything through your cell phone. Isn't that pretty cool? But I'm sure it costs a lot more than this used machine. So keep that in mind. Talk to you soon. Happy sewing, happy embroidery.